Good evening. Tonight we're going to look at our electrical training aid board for our 661 entrepreneurship class. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. First, I want to talk through some of the challenges that we're trying to solve. So nonetheless, we're looking at building a foundation in basic electrical diagnostics for our technicians. Really a quick, easy hands-on training, build confidence in our multimeter usage, deep understanding of Ohm's law, the ability to measure volt drops and available voltage, understanding of voltage potential versus available voltage, along with pulse width modulation. So first, looking at the build, and so nonetheless, looking at a limited production build, a simple board that can be easy replicated, looking at two fan circuits, two light circuits. First fan circuit, just working with normal resistor, variable speed. The second fan circuit, just working off of pulse width modulation. One of the light circuits, we're looking at just simple control from a 12-volt switch. The second light switch, looking at controlling it from the ground or return side. Nonetheless, what you're going to see with this board is that not only all these components work on a normal basis with the back of the board having multiple switches, but nonetheless, we can put in different failures. For example, with high resistance, or an open-end circuit, or potentially shorted to another component, for example, from the fan to light circuit, having a short to ground across those two components, or a short to power or unwanted power. So nonetheless, the goal is having our technicians verify if the circuit is working normal as designed, or do we have high resistance or open in the circuit. And if from an instructor standpoint, we can put that failure mode before the switch, after a switch, or on the return wire. So nonetheless, our overall goal is to have our certified dealer instructors, our regular training center instructors, any one of those individuals really supporting our technicians learning the basic foundation of electrical concepts. So once again, a very unique application where we're developing instructors' proficiency in knowledge transfer of foundational electrical concepts to our technicians. So there was three assumptions that we're really focusing on with this particular build. First, looking at dealerships' willingness to invest in such a training aid. So once again, there is a little bit of capital acquired to put something together, to have something there for the class. Second assumption is the dealership finding the value in the training aid. So once they have the initial purchase, once again, would there be value? Would they really look at integrating that? And that's really that third assumption, the ability for the dealership, a certified dealer instructor, to be able to apply that to the curriculum itself. So with a competition map, really kind of breaking it down into several boards and activities that are currently in place. So probably most notably is our ATEC Blue boards. Once again, those are off-the-shelf board purchase to help develop technicians. With these particular boards, they work great. The one challenge is that the technician is usually building the circuit, so they know exactly where the resistor is in the circuit, or if they have an open circuit, is very clear since they are building the circuit firsthand. With that, we do have what we call a JD Tech Blackboard that was developed about 25 years ago. Once again, with that board, there is several in circulation. A lot of them are in not great of shape, where there's a lot of additional resistance, corrosion, and failures within the particular board that lead to a little bit of distraction when trying to teach with them. Great concept, but once again, not very repeatable or able to scale it to the need that we have with the amount of technicians we're trying to onboard. And so nonetheless, some other off-the-shelf components, a simple snap circuit board works, but nonetheless not able to apply more of a diagnostics in trying to solve different problems or situations. So that's can build great electrical circuits, but nonetheless not to the point of trying to solve different failure modes to that. So looking at our lean startup canvas, once again, we identify our problems with where we're trying to teach basic electrical, we're trying to demonstrate potential versus available voltage, and overall just applying Ohm's law. So once again, the solution for that was looking at a hands-on training aid that can replicate several activities, and not just activities, but looking at different failure modes. So some of the key metrics around this is really looking at reducing our diagnostic time for our technicians, overall supporting our customers. Some of the unique value positions, once again, is really first built-in activities. So nonetheless, technicians be able to integrate and solve and do many hands-on activity, as they can go up to essentially 12 activities within a matter of 20 minutes. And then nonetheless, having it easy to demonstrate from our certified dealer instructors. Looking at our advantage, really an intuitive application that we're able to bring to market. Overall channel that we're focusing on first is this our dealership network. Our customer segments really include our certified dealer instructors, our John Deere tech instructors, and our training center instructors. So overall currency, getting this to come into place and get buy-in. So first looking at our developer of our content and our course. So the currency that was offered here was really designing, building, and providing a full functional model to that developer so they can easily integrate it into the course itself versus relying on them trying to develop or come up with a similar concept on their own. So nonetheless, really providing and putting this in the hands of the developer, it made it very quick and easy for them to integrate it into the class. Another segment or group we're looking at is our certified dealer instructors. So having a complete bill of materials, a DXF file, easy for them to have manufactured from a local shop, along with a clear list of instructions on how to replicate and build these, once again, very easily and inexpensively at that point, so that they can once again integrate it into their current curriculum. Throughout the project, we had several customer visits. So the first being an in-person visit with a group of certified dealer instructors. We had 16 of them come in, once again providing very great, good feedback. When we did update a couple of the components based on their feedback, and nonetheless a lot of positive reinforcement that they were excited to integrate this into their class. A week later, we had a second group of certified dealer instructors, a group of 12 come in. Once again, very similar feedback, and also a lot of excitement around the actual new training aid or training board. So the third was in person with our training center instructors at our training facility. So we had a group of 32. Once again, they also have very similar feedback, more or less questions in building a board, replicating board, and looking at the timeline. Once again, we were able to solve all those or give them a little bit more feedback on what that is. And last but not least was getting closer to our final rollout, where we did an online webinar to our certified dealer instructors, and we had 106 where we spent an hour going through all the content and then also the key components of the training aid integrated into the class. So last but not least is looking at the implementation of the new training aid. Once again, so we'll consider that our go-to-market of bringing this into the class, into the curriculum, and training our technicians. But with all these steps and feedback and processes, once again, a lot of key updates and changes and modifications were made along the way, really bringing a full functional product quick to market that has been well received. Thank you for listening to today, and we'll talk to you later.